Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're jumping down into the world of Harmony One, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what I would expect to happen next. Now as I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Now if you have not yet joined us in Discord, the link is in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check that out today. Also in the description down below you're going to find links to our Patreon services where we offer a lot more for our Patreon members down in Discord, everything from AMAs twice weekly through to buying and selling alerts that me and Chris are up to, and of course you know things like staking alerts, project reviews and trading, along with 2 AMAs weekly. So if that's your bag, why not check that out. Link in the description down below. Also in the description below you're going to find the links to the new Cheeky podcast, a fantastic way to stay up to date with everything crypto on your daily commute into the office. It's completely free, so why not check that out as well. Okay, let's waste no more time though. Let's jump right down into this. Here we have Harmony One paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source. Now I've cleared off of some of the analysis because you know I think things have changed a little bit from where we were previously. So I want to kind of restart this completely fresh. Well, say almost completely fresh. I mean, we have our 5-wave structural trend to the downside. That hasn't really changed at the moment. I'm targeting out 1.44 to 1.565. You know, and we had this higher target. This one was actually invalidated the other day. So, you know, I wanted to kind of review where our 4th wave is likely to go, and then obviously, you know, review what that means to the downside price action. Okay, so essentially, I cleared off a lot of the other waves that were just getting in the way at this point, to make it a little bit easier to read. So what I've done here is we've basically taken our 3rd wave drop, okay, and I tried to neaten this up to make a little bit more sense. So what I did here was basically take this as a wave 1, wave 2, all of this is an overextended 3, that's 4, and that is 5. So this clears up our expanding flat theory, and now moves us into a more simplified 4th wave correction, specifically because this downward price action over here with the overlap. I didn't like that. In an ending diagonal, I wanted it to be a nice clean 5-wave move, which we didn't see. So that's kind of what I have down here. That basically puts the bottom of this 3rd wave at 1.645, and because this is overextended, it means that we are probably going to have the size of our 5th wave marrying up with the size of our wave 1. So I can take this measurement, for example, layer this somewhere, and we're probably going to have a shorter than expected move, but without knowing exactly where our wave 4 is going to land, it doesn't necessarily give us you know, any good kind of area to kind of be thinking about. So we'll do that once we actually have the top here on the wave 4 move, and then we can plot out where our 5th wave is likely to get. So essentially, when it comes to Elliott wave theory, if any of this is confusing or doesn't make sense, join us in Discord. I've got some materials that you know we can just send some links over that you can get into some reading so you can understand what's going on here, and you can follow along with these videos a little bit more clearer. It's not random. Nothing here is random at all, but there's a set of principles and a set of rules that you follow that allow you to track the psychology of people interacting with Harmony One, and therefore allows us to kind of predict out what is going to happen based on Fibonacci based numbers and how people resonate with those. So it's quite complicated, I'm not going to lie, but essentially it's worth understanding because I think it's going to set you apart from other traders. But you know, join us in Discord. I've got the materials, you can have a look at that. If you need to. So essentially what we have here is a 4th wave move. Now a 4th wave move typically moves to 38.2% of wave 3. So you know that's kind of this yellow box area, right? So you can see that we're kind of in this zone. Let me just check because I did actually make a couple of tweaks here, so we'll just check it. So yeah, we probably actually need to just change this around slightly. Let me just grab this. So yeah, 38.2 is slightly higher, so that's actually right up here. Okay, so I'm just going to move this up to the 50% level. So you can kind of see that that's the most typical, which means we haven't actually hit that. This is based on me moving the wave 3 to the new low point. So down here, this means that we can potentially move up a little bit. Now, we do have some overlap here, which basically prevents this from being a 5-wave move, which we wouldn't expect. We'd expect a 3-wave structural move. And if we take this as an entire wave upwards, this as our bounce to the downside, then typically we would look for a 1-to-1 ratio, which would put us at about 2.013 cent, which would be right in there. Again, you know, I would probably want to look at most of these areas here as well. specifically anywhere really between that. Yeah, you can find the resistance right now is coming up on this 618 area. So, you know, right in this quite a sweet spot. So basically 18 or 1.895 cent. You can see this is where the resistance is coming in right now. And that's on the 61.8% move upwards. The 786 is another key area. That would be 1.946 cent. But typically, you know, we would be looking for our 1-to-1 ratio. So I'm going to mark up our 1-to-1 ratio here at 2.013 cent, and I'm going to remove that. But just be aware that nothing moves in straight lines, and we would expect some volatility. I think there's a higher probability of finding rejection right on here on the 702, essentially creating a double top scenario. But I'll show you why I think that in a second. If we take this high point up here and we take this low point here and we move this over, we can see that this actually comes up to our 618 as our 1-to-1 ratio. So again, finding resistance because this could be an entire wave in itself, and we look for a small pullback before moving on up again. So what we have here is basically a micro movement like this, and essentially that could change. So it could become something like this, and then we pull back, and then we bring back up into that range. Okay, so nothing would move up in straight lines. We're not expecting one candle to just go straight to 2.013. We'd expect some additional kind of candles, some volatility, etc. Okay, so based on that, and if we do actually move to that 1-to-1, which again is the most common area, it's no guarantee, that would allow us then to kind of think about where our low point for our wave 5 might actually end up. Okay, which isn't actually too far off where we were thinking already. So I'm going to draw this in to start with, which is typical wave 5 movements. Basically 1.569 on the higher side, and on the lower side it is 1.453. Okay, so that's that there. Now, if we go ahead and actually take our wave 1 measurement, we'll take that from here. Let me grab hold of the right thing. We'll grab it from here to here. So that's basically the entire wave 1 move. We move this over into our theoretical 2.013 cent, and our 1-to-1 ratio just happens to be a little bit north of our typical wave 2 retracements, coming in here at 1.586. Okay, so I'm going to also just remove that, yeah, let me grab hold of another price label, and I'm just going to also drop that right on here. Okay, so this kind of sweet spot of this area, this is essentially the area to kind of be focusing in on, right? If we end up with a 1-to-1 ratio with our wave 1 because of our overextended wave 3, essentially what that would mean is a 1.586 cent potential low point. If we have a typical wave 2, it could be anywhere between wave 5, a typical wave 5 that is, a 1.453 and a 1.569 movement. Okay, so I'll remove this fib off the top here so you can kind of see that's our expectations of this entire move, and I'll mark this up as an A, a B, and a C just coming up here. So that's kind of where we think things are going. Now let's take a look at the stochastic, right? So momentum to the upside, yeah, we could probably push this a little bit higher here, and we could hit that high point. So it'll be interesting to kind of see if we have that in multiple waves, or whether it ends in a 5-wave move. Who knows just yet, right? But a move to the upside is likely to happen here. We've got some momentum behind the price, so we could potentially push that today. It'll be interesting to kind of see if we can complete it. On the 4-hour, plenty of room to grow, so we could quite easily hit this 2.013 cent according to the 4-hour. Again, that could take a little bit longer time wise, but you know, we got the room there. The 8 hours overbought, the daily's almost overbought, so this little surge upwards should essentially put us into a prime position for this decline to the downside, where we would look to pretty much lower our daily, our 8-hour, our 4-hour stochastics, etc., to the oversold area. Because essentially, if I come up into our 8-hour chart here, we are going to be talking about a pretty big surge to the upside. In fact, actually, let me come up into our weekly chart. I think that's where I've got this drawn out. Is it on the daily? Daily. It's on the daily. My bad. So essentially, what we're looking at here is a potential wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. this is a wave 4 bounce and then a decline afterwards, right? So wherever our fifth wave ends, whether that is 1.4 cent or 1.5 cent, essentially I'm expecting approximately a 200% move upwards afterwards. Okay, this is pretty much aligned to what a typical wave 4 would look like, before we actually then start to decrease back down again. So there's fantastic opportunities on the macro scale here, but we would need to see our stochastic completely lowered down like we had done previously. So we're up here previously, we went down into the oversold area. Once we bottom out here, I do think there's a reversal pattern. We'll probably look for a zigzag or something to that effect. As before, we had a 335 structural move up into this bounce before we dropped into the third wave low. So I'd be looking at probably a structure that's going to trick a lot of people into thinking that the price is moving up significantly, and the bottom is in. So I'd probably be looking for a zigzag pattern or something to that effect, where we start to see impulsive structure, and then FOMO structure afterwards, and then a lead balloon where we fall back down quite significantly. Of course, we'll be keeping a close eye on that just in case it does actually turn into an impulsive structure, but I would expect a zigzag in the wave 4 in my opinion. Then we drop that down, potentially down towards the 1 cent range, and then from there, that's where I would actually estimate our macro bottom to be here, in the case of Harmony 1. So a lot of exciting things to come, but do expect a little bit of a push to the upside, a little bit more room to the downside, and then, in my opinion, a big surge upwards from there. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.